One micronation under God. I'm Jason Horton.
I'm Rebecca Lieb.
And this is Ghost Town.
It was December 26th, 1979, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my hometown, as some listeners know, when 14-year-old Robert Ben Madison made the decision to secede from the United States, declaring his bedroom to be a sovereign nation. He named his new country after the Finnish word for inside the house, a nod to his home, his safe space. Madison's mother had just passed away, and he wanted to feel some control and some purpose. Unbeknownst to him at the time, on that day, right after Christmas, young Robert Madison solidified his place in cultural history, becoming the young founder of one of the longest-standing and vibrant micronations still in existence, the Kingdom of Talossa. At first, Madison's new constitutional monarchy seemed cute, a nice way to pass the time, so friends and relatives humored the young teen by, quote, becoming citizens. Madison also created a flag for Talossa, a green color field over a red one, maybe a nod to the country's founding so close to Christmas, but I'm not quite sure. Soon after came a seal for his country that read in Finnish, quote, a man's room is his kingdom, and a handmade newspaper with Talossa news and events. First, Talossa membership was mostly within the 5 square miles around Milwaukee's east side, and eventually members hailed from all over Milwaukee. Though most people perhaps assumed Madison would grow out of his governmental hobby, they were wrong. In the mid-90s, the internet happened, and Madison made his kingdom a simple website. Because of its digital presence and curious specificity, the New York Times and Wired picked up on Talossa, which gave it the publicity that caught many people's attention. Nothing like this had ever been done before, and this kind of political social experiment felt intriguing to many, especially given the sifting and transparency of communities by way of the internet. In April 1996, Madison reestablished an adjacent project, the League of Secessionist States, an inter-micronational organization originally founded by him and 2 friends in 1980, back when Talossa was a, let's say, private, offline organization. The League of Secessionist States also got its own website. Now members were joining online from random locations all over the world. When a member would, quote, join, they would apply online, and if they became a citizen, wherever they lived would be renamed and hailed as one of Talossa's new, quote, claims. One of the more colorful land claims is in Antarctica, which Talossans call Penguin Land. At this point, the modest kingdom had become an online presence, had a language, and even its own culture. The best I can explain it is a kind of bureaucratic, immigration-based role-playing game. It has its own political parties, fictional prehistory, immigration process, an anthem, and an alphabet. And of course, its own 28,000-word language, honed and practiced over the last couple decades. Think Klingon, but sounding a bit more German or Dutch. But like any growing kingdom, Talossa was not without its own controversies and political upheavals. More on that after the break. In 2004, some citizens of the Kingdom of Talossa ceded themselves, developing the Republic of Talossa. Madison reigned as king until his abdication in 2005 due to more political controversy. The Talossa immigration policy had come under fire, and honestly, Madison was an adult now and decided someone younger, with more energy, should probably take the reins. Like a good monarchy, he kept the leadership of Talossa in the family and crowned his wife's 8-year-old grandson, Louis, as king. The new currency, the Louis, was named after the king, and things stayed interesting for a while. But King Louis only reigned for a year, and in 2006 the 4th grader had had enough, and King John, a private citizen named John W. Woolley, was elected to office. Under King John, the 18 Republic of Talossa members eventually came back into the fold, and Talossa was united once again. To this day, King John, whose Talousian name is Ian Lapoule, still reigns. The successors to the throne are his children, Prince Patrick, Prince Peter, and Princess Danielle. As of June 23, 2016, Talossa's GDP was $842, with 213 active citizens, not including inactive citizens and those under the age of 14, which brings the count of citizenship to about 500 people. 2016 was a while ago, so maybe there are more, or less, I'm not sure. I know all of this feels very abstract, like what does it even mean to be a member or to be active? And I get it. If you really want to understand how the culture of being from Talossa works, or being part of Tolusian roleplay works, simply go to Talossa.com. The website is incredibly informative while also poking fun of itself, talking through Talossa's history, immigration policy, and culture. There's a place to buy stamps and money and to donate. There's a place where you're instructed that you should create your own Tolusian name, the entry point into citizenship. There's also a forum, which is how people discuss Tolusian culture. That's where a lot of the kind of Tolusian cosplay vibe comes in. But the forum is also how you show your allegiance to Talossa if you're trying to immigrate. I actually applied to be a citizen, but alas, I was rejected. I just wasn't active enough on the forum. In later interviews, Madison said that he coined the term micronation sometime between 1997 and 2000, and that Talossa was the most prominent intermicronational organization on the internet. Is it true? I'm not sure, but it is a pretty impressive, strangely significant statement from an unexpected former king.